Hey everybody, this is going to be our basic class for today. So we're going to warm up and then we're going to go over some different ways you can modify or change your fighting stance to find what works best for you and to set up different kinds of attacks. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But first we have to warm up, so we're going to start with toe touches today. All the way down and up. Remember, we're trying to reach to the outside of our foot or towards our pinky toe. Mr. Tyler and I are trying to touch the floor. If all you can do is touch your foot, that's fine. If all you can do is reach to your ankle, that's fine, but make sure you're actually stretching and getting your legs and your hips moving. Okay, so let's stand up and we're going to go to reach and pull. Let's go to elbow pulls. And wash machine. All right, so since we're going to be working on our stances and our footwork, let's warm up our legs and our hips a little bit. So all we're going to do is keep our feet relaxed, keep our body relaxed, and just do a little bit of a hop. Okay? Almost like when we do jump rope, but you don't have to worry about your hands right now. If you want to put your guards up, you can, but really right now we're just soft and relaxed. Okay? We'll start moving our feet around in just a second. Yeah, start to go front to back. So I'm switching my feet, front and back. And we're not jumping super high. We're not pushing real hard off the floor. We're just trying to stay nice and relaxed. Let's go open and close. All right, let's start to go a little bit more like a fighting stance. You just hop front and back. Okay? Kind of a lazy fighting stance, okay? And then, yeah, we can trade sides whenever you're ready. And now we're going to kind of mix it up. So be in the middle, you can do front and back, switch, move up, in and out. Just move your feet around. Notice we haven't stopped moving the whole time though, right? We're not just doing like 5 or 10 hops and then stopping. We're trying to get our body warm. Get everything moving. We didn't move side to side, but you could do that as well too, right? You could actually travel a little bit if you wanted to. All right, there we go. So, basic fighting stance that everybody should know. My feet start in an L shape. I'll do it towards the camera first. My back foot is turned to the side. My front foot is pointed towards the front. My front foot slides out a little bit. Okay? So my feet are in an L. My hands are up high by my eyebrows, my elbows are in to cover my body. Okay? I'm trying to keep my body turned off to the side a little bit. I don't want to stand square to the front facing you. I want to stay kind of turned off to the side a little bit. Okay? That is our basic, regular, vanilla fighting stance. We'll do it sideways for you one time. So, my back foot is turned to the side. My front foot is pointed in front of me. Okay, my hands are up high, my elbows are in to protect my body. Okay, my knees are a little bit, I'm not in a squat or a deep, like traditional karate stance here. Okay, I want to stay a little bit higher up, and I want my knees and my ankles to be relaxed and soft, kind of like that hopping feeling we just had, but I'm not actually coming off the ground. But I should be relaxed and able to move. Okay, if I get too low, I'm going to be stuck down here. If I stand up too tall, I'm going to be kind of wobbly. Okay, so we need to just be in the middle and be nice and soft and relaxed. Okay? So that's our basic fighting stance. The easy way to get into it really is just think about that L, step your foot forward, and then hands up, elbows in. Okay? If you make your feet into an L shape, your body should naturally turn off to the side a little bit. Okay? If your back foot isn't turned to the side, you're going to face the front like this. And this is more body for you to hit. This is a bigger target if you're the bad guy for you to hit me. So I kind of want to close myself a little bit. Okay? So this is our regular fighting stance. When we're in this stance, if we move forward, our front foot leads. If we move backward, our back foot leads. So we're not crossing our feet, right? So let's do a few of those together. Okay, so we're in our stance. Hands up, elbows in. You see Mr. Tyler and I are in different stances. Choose the one you like better. Okay? And we're just going to go front to back. Ready? Step to the front. 1, 2. Step to the back. Front. Back. Don't cross your feet. Front. Back. One more time. Front and back. Pretty simple, okay? Make sure that when you step, I'm going to turn sideways for you again. If this foot moves 6 inches, this foot also has to move 6 inches, so I come back to my same stance. I can't step 6 inches with one foot and 12 inches with the other foot, because then my feet will be too close, okay? I also can't step 6 inches with my front foot and then 2 inches with my back foot, because then my feet are going to end up too far apart. So we want to try to stay in our same stance every single time. All right? Here's a little bit more challenging way to move is side to side. So we're in that same stance, L shape, hands up, elbows in. Okay? I'm going to switch, so Mr. Tyler and I are in the same stance this time to make it a little easier for you to follow. If we move to our right foot moves first. The left foot follows. Okay, if we move to the other side, foot. Okay, now if you're facing us, that's actually your left. So I'm going to call it out backwards for you, okay? So move to your left, step drag. Move to your right. Move to your left. Move to your right. One more time, left and right. If you switch your stance, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter which one's in front or back right now. We're talking about side. So if I go this way, it's still my left foot that leads. And if I go to the other side, it's still my right foot that leads. Okay, so left, right. Make sure you're trying it with us. Left, right. One more time. Hands up, elbows in. Left and right. Okay. So that's your basic fighting stance. That's what we teach everybody first. As you practice more and you start to find out the things that you like to do better when you're sparring, and you find out kind of how much and how you like to move, you might start to make little changes to your stance. Okay, so if you're a person that likes to do more punches than kicks, your stance is going to be a little bit different, okay, from each other. If Mr. Tyler's going to kick, he might stay up and a little bit lighter on his feet. If I'm going to punch, I might stay a little bit tighter and covered it in a little bit lower, okay? If you're a person that likes to move a lot, you might stay a little higher up as well and start moving. If you're a person who kind of likes to be real methodical, if you like to have a plan and go in a specific pattern, you might move a little slower. You might stand a little lower. Your stance will change based on what you're going to do, okay? Your stance might also just change for a few moments while you're setting up a certain technique. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about here. If I want to do a front kick, and right now my weight is equal on both legs, okay? So 50-50. Half of my weight's on my front foot, half of my weight's on my back foot. For me to kick and try to pick up this leg, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm going to be leaning too far to the front. So one way that you can change your stance if you're wanting to kick your front leg is to shift more of your weight to the back, okay? So if my weight is shifted a little more to my back, my front foot is free to lift and move and turn and do whatever it needs to do, okay? Now, if you stay like that, okay, the whole time, you're going to be slow. So you have to be able to shift from moving around, move your weight when you're ready to kick, and then get back to your normal fighting stance. Okay? So let's practice just that kind of fighting stance real quick, and then we'll look at how to kick. So I'm going to do it sideways for you one more time. I'm in my normal fighting stance, but I'm going to sort of not lean, but just press my body weight back. And I'm going to put a little bit more of my weight on this back leg. So my front foot should be free to move around without making me lose my balance or fall over. Okay? So let's try just that stance with a front kick. Ready? 1. You should be able to pop it out really easy. 2. 3. 4. And 5. There we go. Okay? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start in that stance. We're gonna take one shift back, put our weight down, and kick. Okay, so I'm gonna do this sideways for you. I'm gonna take one shift to the back, and then I'm gonna slide this foot in and up, and then do my kick. Okay, so I'm in my fighting stance, step back, boom, and kick. All right, here we go. Remember, you could do this on the other side too if you like. That's okay, we're talking about changing stances in a little bit. Okay, but you pick whichever leg you like best for now. Step back and kick. 1, 2. As you step back, put your weight on that leg. 3, 4, and 5. Boom. Okay, so real simple to imagine. Maybe Mr. Tyler and I were sparring, and he sees me start to move in, so he just slides back and gets that knee up, and throws a kick right into the middle. Okay? Really easy way to think about doing that. Now, when you are moving around in sparring, if you stay the same the whole time, okay, and you never change your feet, and you never change the direction you're going, and you never change your speed and your timing, it's going to be easy for the other person to figure out what you're doing. It's going to be easier for them to hit you or try to set up their attacks. Okay? So, sometimes when we're moving, we might want to change our stance. Okay? So instead of me just staying here and going, oh, I'm going to the front, I'm going to the back, I'm going to the left, I'm going to the right, okay, maybe I want to switch and turn my body so now I'm starting to face the other way. Okay? And what that does is it makes it harder for you to follow me if you're trying to track me down to throw some attacks. Okay? It makes it easier for me to, I don't want to say trick you, okay, but to keep you off balance and to make it harder for you to follow me, make it harder for you to know where I'm coming from to attack you. Okay? So, here's what we're going to do. Nice and easy. I'm going to back up just a little bit so we got some room. Okay, I'm going to be in a normal, comfortable fighting stance. I'm going to take 2 steps, and I'm going to switch to the other side. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I turn, so now I'm kind of off to the corner a little bit. Okay? So if you can see, maybe Mr. Tyler and I were sparring, and I'm moving in, and I'm moving in, and I turn. Oh, so he has to turn. If he doesn't turn, I'm going to be able to hit it. Okay? And when he starts turning and moving, he has to react to me. I can start to set up what I want to do instead of him getting to set up what he wants to do. Okay? So footwork and distance and position helps you decide basically who's gonna be in control of the fight. Okay? If you can control the distance and you can control where you're moving, you have a much better chance of landing the punches that you want to throw and not getting hit by the punches that he wants to throw. Okay? So we're going to start off really simple here. We're going to take 2 steps forward and then switch and move off to the side. So slowly we go 1, 2, switch your stance and turn just a little bit. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, switch. Okay? And you see when we switch, we're not switching straight to the front, we're switching a little bit off to the side. Okay? Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, switch. All right. So 2 more. Try a little bit more full speed. Go. Okay. Ready? Go. All right. Now, we are just talking about moving our feet there. We're not adding in what you might be doing with your hands. Hey, I could be coming in and throwing some punches and trying to make you block. And then if you step back and try to block or cover yourself, I step out of the way. Maybe I can throw a body hook like we've learned before. Maybe I can step out of the way. I can throw a round kick. Okay, you can add in your attacks later. Okay, right now we're just trying to learn what to do with our feet. All right. So here's one more in this kind of basic fighting stance before we move on. Okay, is I'm going to move this time. I'm going to move up. I'm going to move over. I'm going to switch and move over. Okay? So what I'm doing, I'm going to make kind of like a letter Y. Like the letter Y. Okay, so I'm going to move up, I'm going to move this way, and I'm going to move this way. Okay, so like a big letter Y, if you can imagine that. Alright, so let's do it slowly a couple times. Inner stance, light on our feet. I'm not walking, I'm not stomping, hands up, elbows in. Take 1 step forward, take 1 step to the corner, and then switch your stance and move to the corner. Okay? Big letter Y. Ready? Let's do it again. Forward, corner, corner. Ready? Do it again. Forward, corner, corner. Okay? And again, if you can hear Mr. Tyler our feet on the mat. Okay, it doesn't always come up on the camera. But we're not dragging our feet, but we're letting our feet just slide over the top of the floor. We're not picking our feet up and taking big steps. Okay, we want to stay real close to the floor and just move, okay, on top of the floor. We don't want to go overstep, over lift our knee because that's too slow. Okay? So here we go. We're doing this one a couple more times, a little more full speed. Make the big letter Y. Go. Front, angle, angle. Ready? Go. Front, angle, angle. 2 more. Ready? Go. Front, angle, angle. Last one. Ready? Go. Front. Okay? And so what I'm trying to do is I'm sparring you. I want you to think that I'm coming at you. Maybe you think I'm going to move this way and throw a punch. So you start trying to cover yourself on this side, and then boom, I switch. Now I'm attacking on the other side. Okay? Attacks you can add in later, like we said. So we went over our basic fighting stance. We've gone over moving our weight back a little bit so we can kick our front foot. This next one is a little bit different. It's to help you set up a side kick or a round kick, basically, is what you can think of. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in my normal fighting stance, and I'm going to bring my front foot over so that it's almost in line exactly with my back foot. And I'm kind of turned to the side all the way here. Just my head is looking at you. Okay? So, your knees can still be soft and relaxed, but I don't have my front knee and toe pointed at you. I have it turned off to the side, and just my head and my hands are pointed. Okay? Now, you can move around like this pretty easily. You can move and dodge and do all kinds of good stuff here. So, it's a little bit more of a mobile position, okay? And it's really good for attacking, and it's hard for you to hit me on this whole back side of my body because it's way far away from you, right? You, right now, are not going to be able to hit me on this side of my face. It's way over here. My hands are in your way, my leg is in your way, you're not going to be able to get there, okay? So, just set up this sideways fighting stance one more time. Go to your regular fighting stance, and then instead of having your front leg pointed forward, turn it to the side, okay? And then all you do is you turn your head and your hands, okay? You still want to have your weight light, kind of evenly distributed, maybe even a little bit more on the back, okay, so that you're ready to kick, okay? You're not in a horse stance, though, okay? Even though we're standing sideways, we're up higher and we're soft and we're moving around. We're not getting heavy and low to the floor, okay? So, in our sideways fighting stance like this, you can see my foot is in a good position to come up and throw side kicks, or to come up and throw round kicks, or those of you that have maybe learned to do a hook kick, that's almost the same setup as your side kick, right? So we can use this stance to set up that kind of stuff, as well as back fists, hammer blow, your front punch or your jab, okay? And then you just got to remember, when you're ready to throw your backhand, you have to twist, right? I can't throw my back punch like this, I won't be able to reach. So you have to twist, okay? It'll take a little bit longer, but it'll have a little more power to it. So, here we go. In our sideways fighting stance, all we're going to do right now is just move forward and move backwards. 2 steps forward, 2 steps backwards, okay? So nice and easy, ready to go. Forward and back. Okay, forward and back. One more time, forward and back. Okay? So from the side, what that looks like is I kind of push off this foot and slide myself. Okay? I'm not hopping up and down. Okay? I move 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They kind of go at the same time. Okay? But I'm not jumping up and down off the foot. So, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to move up 1 step, and then on the second step, we're going to throw a side kick. Okay? So I'm going to go 1, 2. Okay? I move in, and then I kick. Alright? Nice and easy there. We're going to do that 5 times. Here we go. Ready? 1. Step, kick. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Alright. And you can do that same thing, like we said, for round kicks or hook kicks. Okay? You're also, those of you that have learned how to spin maybe, you're halfway to a spinning technique on that side too there. Okay? So, little variation on your fighting stance. Here's what we're going to do for this last little drill today, okay? is you can choose which stance you want to be in. You can be in your regular stance. You can be in your stance with your weight kind of back, so you're ready to kick. Okay? You can be in your side stance that we just talked about. And we're just going to move front, left, right, or back. And then when I say go, you're going to throw 2 attacks, anything you want. Punches, kicks, hammer blows, back fists, palm heels, hook, whatever. Okay? You choose the stance, you choose the side that you want to do, left foot or right foot. Alright? So let's all get in a fighting stance. See, I'm going to do something different from Mr. Chai with a pin kick. Okay, so he's going to be there. I'll put my other foot in the front. Okay, and I'll stand more forward. Okay, here we go. Move to the front. Move to the back. Move to the front. Move to the back. Now remember, that's your left. So move to your left. Move to your right. Oh, wait. I don't know. Move that way. Move this way. That's your right, isn't it? I said that wrong. Right. Left. Front. Back. Front. Front. Back. Right. Or left, whatever it is. I'm all confused now. Sorry, guys. Let's do an attack. Ready? Go. Boom, boom. All right, let's keep moving. Just follow us. Attack. Just 2 things. Anything you want. Ready? Go. Follow us. Follow our footwork. Attack. All right, we're going to do 2 more. 2 more. Here we go. Follow us. Attack. One more time. Ready? One more. Follow us. Attack. All right, good. One more round of that, and this time I'm going to say attack, or I'm going to say switch. And if I say switch, you're going to change your feet. Okay? So just real quick, it could be moving, moving, attack, move, move, switch, attack. Boom. Okay? So same thing. We're just adding in one more little wrinkle, one more little thing to practice. Okay? So again, choose the stance you want to use. You use the sideways stance, use the regular stance, use the kicking stance that we talked about, whatever you like. And we're going to move around and switch and attack. Here we go. Follow us. Attack. Keep moving. Follow us. Switch. Keep on. Keep moving. Attack. Attack. Follow us. Switch. Switch. Attack. One more. Here we go. Follow us. Switch. Switch. Attack. All right. So that's going to be the end of our class for today. Thank you guys for working with us. Okay? Just remember your fighting stance the word is fluid. Okay? That means it can change for whatever it needs to be. Okay? The example is if you take a cup of water, right? And I take my cup of water, the water fills up the cup, and I pour it into a bowl. The water changes into the shape of the bowl, right? It doesn't stay up and down like the cup was. If I take that water from the bowl and I pour it into a bottle, it fills up the bottle. It doesn't stay in the shape that the bowl was. So your fighting stance can move and change depending on what you need to do. Do you need to block? Do you need to move? Do you need to kick? Do you need to punch? Your feet and your body have to adjust to fit your situation, to fit what you need to do. Okay? So that's it for today. We will see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a good evening. Goodbye.